Unagi Kabayaki, a dish older than the country it is cooked in. From the smoke-dimmed eel houses of late Edo Tokyo, where masters have been butterflying freshwater eel along the spine and grilling it over white binchotan charcoal for nearly 300 years. This is the Kanto-style, the Tokyo cut, open from the back, never the belly. In the apprenticeship system of the great Edo eel houses, the saying still holds: 3 years to skewer, 8 years to grill. Tonight we cook it the way the masters do. Servings 2. 40 minutes of preparation, 35 of cooking. Total time, 1 hour, 15 minutes. 2 whole freshwater eel fillets, unagi. Half a cup of soy sauce, half a cup of mirin, half a cup of sake, a 1/4 teaspoon of sansho pepper, sansho, 1/5 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1½ cups of short grain rice, 1 3/4 cups of water. That is all. Eel, 3 sweet liquids, sugar, pepper, and rice. Begin with the rice. Rinse the short grain rice in a bowl of cold water. Swirl with the fingertips. Pour the cloudy water away. Rinse again and again until the water runs clear. Then cook it with 1 3/4 cups of fresh water. The rice for a donburi bowl must be soft enough to drink the tare, but firm enough to hold the eel. Now the tare. Pour the sake and the mirin together into a small saucepan. Bring them to a low boil for 2 minutes, just long enough for the alcohol to soften and vanish, and leave the sweetness behind. This is how every great unagi house has begun their tare for generations. Add the sugar and the soy sauce. Lower the heat. Let the mixture simmer slowly, not boil, simmer. The liquid will deepen from amber to mahogany to a glossy lacquer that can coat the back of a spoon. In the famous old eel houses of Tokyo, the tare pot is never washed. It is topped up, generation after generation after generation. There are houses on the Sumida River where the same tare has been simmering on and off since the 1800s. What we are making tonight is the beginning of one. The eel. Lay each fillet skin side down on the cutting board. With a long, very sharp knife, butterfly the eel from the back. Open it like a book. This is the Kanto cut. Then thread 4 or 5 long metal kushi, horizontally through each fillet. The skewers hold the eel flat. They also conduct the heat, carrying it into the very center of the flesh while the surface grills. The first grill. Lay the skewered eel over a hot charcoal fire, skin side down, just for a moment, until the surface lightly colors and the fat begins to bubble through the flesh. This is called shirayaki, the white grill. We are not cooking the eel yet. We are only opening it to receive the steam. Then the steam. Lift the eel from the fire. Set it gently into a steamer over high heat and let it rest there for 15 full minutes. This is the step that separates Kanto from Kansai. The steam tenderizes the skin. It melts the heavy fat that lives between the layers of the eel and renders it away. What comes out of the steamer is no longer tough. It is silken and ready for the lacquer. History and cultural origins. Unagi, freshwater eel, has been eaten in Japan for more than 5,000 years. Eel bones have been found in the kitchen middens of Jomon period coastal villages, older than the pyramids, older than the wheel. But the dish we call kabayaki, the glazed, lacquered, sweet soy version, is much younger. It is an Edo invention, a Tokyo invention, born in the 1700s. The word kabayaki, the old eel masters say, comes from kaba, the cattail reed, whose dark brown lacquered sheath the grilled eel was thought to resemble. The dish was at first a peasant food, a river worker's lunch, a copper coin meal at the back alley stalls of the Sumida. But by the late Edo period, the Tokyo eel houses, the famous unagiya, had elevated it into one of the great refined dishes of Japan. There is a tradition called Doyo no Ushi no Hi, the Day of the Ox in midsummer, the hottest stretch of the Japanese year. In the 1700s, an eel housekeeper named Hiraga Janai was struggling to sell unagi in the summer heat. So he hung a single sign at his door, claiming that eating eel on this one summer day would bring strength against the heat. The sign worked. And so, 2.5 centuries later, on the Day of the Ox each July, Japan still queues outside the unagiya. Today, unagi is no longer a peasant food. It is the dish of grandfathers and grandsons, of long Sunday lunches in old wooden eel houses. It is plated at New Year, at weddings, at the high points of the Kaiseki calendar, and it is the most quietly threatened of Japan's classical dishes. The Japanese freshwater eel is now endangered. Each plate is more precious than the one before it. Each glaze, a small act of conservation. The lacquer. Return the steamed eel to the charcoal grill. Take up the tare and the long-handled brush. Baste the eel gently, 1 coat. Grill for 1 minute. Baste again. Grill again. 4 times in all. The glaze caramelizes, blackens at the edges, turns to a deep, lacquered mahogany. Place a portion of warm rice into a black donburi bowl. Pour 1 spoon of the tare over the rice. Lay the grilled eel on top, skin side down, so the glossy side faces the candlelight. Dust with a whisper of sansha pepper. Unagi, properly made, needs nothing else. It has survived 5,000 years. It survives because it was never trying to be impressive. It was only trying to feed the people who loved it. And the table, at last, is set.